In this video, we're going to take a look at how to administrate the auto-tasking in Broker Brain. The auto-tasking system in Broker Brain is very powerful and allows you to set up your workflow and assign work automatically as properties and offers and different aspects of the system move through the processes that they move through. And again, this is completely customizable by you through the administrative side of Broker Brain. So you can make this work exactly the way you want it to. We've already been through the statuses, and statuses affect how this auto-tasking system works, so I'll vaguely refer to that as we move through the auto-tasking portion here. So we're going to go ahead and just pick a task here, and keeping in mind that tasks in the auto tasks in the AutoTask system are basically templates or tasks that will eventually be assigned to a property. At this point in time, these are not assigned to any particular property, don't have due dates or anything else assigned with them. These are kind of templates that once a property meets a certain criteria and is triggered to go, it will then be created for an individual property. So we're going to take a look at this set BPO due date and just kind of go over how the thought process of auto-tasking works. The very first option is the name of the task, and this is literally going to be what the users in your system will see as far as what needs to be done at this point of the process in the system. And again, we're going to work our way down this list and then come back up and cover an option up at the top in just a few moments. Days to complete is going to be a way for you to say from the time that the property or the task triggers, when should the due date for this task be set. So if we set the days to complete as 1, then when the property in this case goes to a not listed status, then the due date for this task would be 1 day from that status change, in most cases be tomorrow. So basically we have the task, the days to complete, and then the status trigger. Now in this case we're looking at property auto tasks, which means they will be triggered by property status changes. We also have offer auto tasks, preservation auto tasks, and any other auto task that we have in the system will be triggered based on a status change for that type of item. So right now we're just looking at auto tasks that are specifically tied to property status changes. Now our system has these sets of these different statuses right here: initial, eviction, so forth and so on, all the way through the closed status. Now, because we can add as many statuses to our system as we want, we can go to the property status tab, add additional statuses to then trigger tasks based off of those statuses. So it's very customizable, and on any status trigger within the system you have the ability to trigger any task off of any number of different statuses. So in this case, the set BPO due date is being triggered off of a not listed when a property goes into the not listed status, but we could also add listed and under contract if you do that particular function at all 3 stages through the property process. Below the status triggers we have conditions, and these are going to be conditions that allow you to restrict tasks from going out under certain circumstances. For example, if you have a property that has a pool, you would clearly want to maybe get a pool service bid for that property, but it would be silly to task yourself to get a pool bid on a property that didn't have a pool. So the conditions allow you to create a little bit more customization to what causes or what will prevent or allow a task to trigger. A couple that are kind of key here are the if owner, and the if owner will allow you to set up tasks that are specific to a particular bank. And this will, let's say if a bank asks you to do a certain series of tasks to their properties but other banks don't ask you to do that, then you can customize those tasks and those conditions to only apply to properties that have been assigned by a particular bank. If previous status equals, this is if you have properties bouncing back and forth between listed and under contract, offer falls out and it's listed again. Clearly not every listing task is going to need to be done the second time a property lists, so that you can say I only want this to happen when it goes from not listed to listed versus under contract to listed. If has flag, if has property type, and if it's in a certain zip code. And again, you can use these however you need. The if has flag is very powerful, where you can add a flag to a property, and let's say you put a red flag on a property, which means something specific to your company, then you could trigger tasks to go out just simply because it entered a particular status and it has that red flag. So lots of ability to customize how and when these tasks are going to fire on a property by property basis. Now at the bottom we have the assignment for individual auto tasks so that the system knows who to send these to. And in this case, or actually in every case related to auto tasks, a task on auto task must, or any task in the system for that matter, whether it's auto or manually created, initially must be assigned to a group and then subsequently can be assigned to a user. So what we have here is the BPO team. Well, now currently we don't have any users in our BPO team, so this task would just go out to the group itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a group here that I know has some people in it. We're going to pick the admin team. Now, if we don't make an assignment at this point in the game, the task will go out to the group but will not assign to any particular user, and then the individual members of that group will be able to self-assign their own workflow based on the load of work that they already have. So if you want to allow your users to do that, they will get a notification saying this task went out to the group, but nobody's taken responsibility for it yet. It hasn't been assigned, and then your users can go own the tasks that they want to do and let the rest of the team take the tasks that they're going to do. And I'll show you how that looks to the users in just a moment. Now, if you choose a group that only has a single user in that group, the system is aware of the fact that there's really only one person that could do that job, and so the system will go ahead and automatically assign that task to that person because they're the sole person in the group. Your other options would then be to assign this to the property assigned agent, which will take whoever the assigned agent is for that property and look it up and assign the task to that individual. Or you could make a specific user assignment at this point of time. And what will happen is when the task goes out, it will assign it to the group, but then subsequently will also assign it to a particular person. And when an auto task is created in Broker Brain, everybody in the group that task went out for will receive an email notification letting them know that the property status has changed, that a task has now been assigned to their group, and it will notify them if the task was specifically assigned to them. It gives them due dates and just some basic information. And each individual user has the ability to override those messages. If they don't want to get the automatic notifications that tasks have gone out for their group, under the My Account tab, each individual user has the ability to disable task email notifications. And if that box is checked for any user, they will not receive those automatic emails from the system letting them know that the task has gone out for them and or their group.